this is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome. We got a lot to cover. Tulsi Gabbard has joined Trump's team of rivals with Robert Kennedy, and a whole bunch more has been going on. So we're going to talk about quite a few things. Welcome, everyone. Yes, yes, yes. A little more coffee here. Hold on. Got up super early this morning. So, Tulsi Gabbard, this is amazing. I want to mention something first. Megyn Kelly, there's a new story that just a blurb about Megyn Kelly. It's very important. Megyn Kelly's YouTube channel is outperforming NBC and CBS News combined, and she's been named the most powerful voice in journalism. Megyn Kelly. And Megyn Kelly's all right. I don't always agree with her. That crap she pulled with Trump a few years ago was a bunch of garbage. But, Megyn Kelly is, out there. She's outperforming NBC and CBS News. That kind of reach. You look at the reach of conservatives in media, it has just totally obliterated the fake news liberal media. The liberal media is more irrelevant today than they ever have been. Their influence is less than zero, and conservative voices are number one everywhere, reaching more people, talking to more people, talking about the news, the issues, and Trump to more people than the liberal media. I mean, we've just totally swamped and overwhelmed them. And the reason that conservative voices are number one everywhere and reaching so many people like Megyn Kelly and others is because that's what the consumer of news is interested in. And the consumer of news is the American public, right? The consumers of news, the American public, the American voters, they don't want to listen to this liberal garbage. They want to listen to conservative voices. Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, who had an incredible interview with RFK that dropped yesterday, and there's a whole list of others, right? That's a poll in itself, right? That's a poll in itself. These fake media polls that show Kamala ahead, a point, 2 point, it's all crap. The fake news liberal media are desperately trying to hold on to their influence. It is over for them. If there was any momentum behind Comrade Kamala Harris here, Willie Brown's girlfriend, Megyn Kelly wouldn't be outperforming NBC and CBS News. Okay? Liberal voices would be number one. But liberal voices, you don't even hear about them. I know there's liberal people that are like me out there. I'm MAGA, but there's like the liberal alternative. But who talks about them? Who watches them? Who is interested in what they have to say? Because people are tired of liberal crap. That's just the reality of it. They're tired of liberal lies. They're tired of liberal inflation. They're tired of liberal wars, right? Right. They're tired of all the liberal DEI and affirming care, all this stuff. People are tired and are rejecting all of it. And everywhere you go, liberals are being defeated by conservatives, whether it's Trump or Megyn Kelly, whatever you point to, conservatives are winning everywhere. And numbers don't lie. Megyn Kelly, it says outperforming NBC and CBS News combined. That's amazing. That's just on YouTube. That doesn't even include her reach on other platforms she's on, right? She's on Sirius Radio, and of course, her show isn't just on YouTube, it's on all the podcast platforms, and they're just including YouTube. They're not including all those other platforms. Now, Tulsi Gabbard yesterday, following RFK endorsing President Trump, I mean, that's a powerful endorsement. That is a very powerful endorsement from Tulsi Gabbard yesterday, and her reasoning for doing it is absolutely amazing. And the influence that RFK and Tulsi Gabbard have over a huge group of people that Trump couldn't reach. What we're talking about, Democrats, is amazing. A lot of Democrats look up to Tulsi Gabbard and Robert Kennedy. What if Trump won Hawaii and their 4 electoral votes? Could you imagine? I'll take those 4 electoral votes from Hawaii, wouldn't you? Tulsi Gabbard is incredibly popular in Hawaii. She is a native Hawaiian. She's Samoan. She has a lot of influence. There's a lot of Samoans in this country. And we got a whole state controlled by them. Hawaii. I mean, what does... you got to wonder, what are Democrats thinking when they see Tulsi Gabbard come out and endorse Trump? Right. That means something to a lot of people. Yeah, it's amazing. That's how bad the Democrats have wrecked this country. I mean, look what happened yesterday. President Trump goes to Arlington with Tulsi Gabbard to honor the fallen from Kamala Harris's and Biden's botched withdrawal from Afghanistan, where they got not just those American service people killed, they got a lot of Afghans killed too. My goodness, Not only did they give the people that knocked down the buildings Afghanistan that we completely rebuilt, they gave them an army and an air force of the most modern equipment known, and 50 years supply of equipment. Do you think that was by accident? The reason that there's 2 reasons why Kamala Harris and Joe Biden left all that equipment behind, okay? A couple reasons. I'll tell you what they are. One, well, there may be more than 2 reasons. I'll just tell you what my thoughts, and you can add them up if you want. But one of the reasons that they left all the equipment behind in Afghanistan, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, is because they're military-industrial complex handlers. Well, the military still needs all that equipment, so guess what? We buy it from them again. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden bought all that equipment we left behind. They bought it again from the military-industrial complex contractors. They had to resell it to the military. That's one reason. A lot of that equipment are Apache helicopters, but a lot of the other equipment is the most up-to-date, modern equipment we had at the time, with the latest computer tech and everything. It was not an accident they left this stuff behind. Another reason they left it behind is they wanted to hand it over to China, which is right next door, and the Taliban have been giving it to China. That's another reason. The liberals are pushing us not just into wars, but just into these insane situations for profit, right? I mean, and another reason that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden gave Afghanistan back to the people that knocked down the buildings on 9/11, the Taliban, was this. When we invaded Afghanistan after 9/11, do you guys remember there were 2 major exports from Afghanistan? Do you remember what they were? Terrorism and heroin. Those are the 2 exports from Afghanistan, terrorism and heroin. When we took over Afghanistan, we did a geological survey of the entire country and found that not only does Afghanistan have a lot of natural resources, they have the largest lithium deposits in the world. And lithium is a necessary component to the EV batteries. The Democrats have been pushing us towards EV. And why are they pushing us towards electric vehicles? Because China, who owns our corrupt politicians in Washington, mostly the Democrats, but some Republicans too, like Mitch McConnell, China's been pushing their They're bought and paid for American politicians into electric vehicles because China does not have oil. We have more oil than anyone in America, in the United States. China does not have oil, so they're trying to get everyone off oil and push them into EVs. And Biden and Kamala Harris just gave China, when they gave Afghanistan back to the people that knocked down the buildings, they gave the largest lithium deposits in the world to China. That's another reason. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. I mean, there's other reasons too, but those are some of the big ones. Yeah, and they're just disgusting, terrible people, the Democrats, and Tulsi Gabbard and Robert Kennedy are sick of it. And you know what? So are a lot of other Democrats. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. You will very much like my content, I promise you. And my next stream starts in about 3 hours, and I'll be taking live calls on that stream. And when I end this stream, you can hop over to that one because the chat room will be active. But yeah, that's what's going on. People are sick and tired of this crap. I mean, look at this story with Zuckerberg, right? Zuckerberg finally admitting that the Biden campaign and the Biden regime put pressure on him to suppress people, including the laptop, right? You know, the Hunter Biden laptop details so many crimes committed by Joe Biden. You know, Hunter puts everything in writing, does everything through email and text message, and he has everything backed up on his laptop. That laptop was the October surprise of the Trump campaign in 2020. And, of course, it was suppressed by the left, and Zuckerberg is confessing to that. Now, that's another poll. If Zuckerberg thought that Kamala Harris was going to be the president in 6 months, that the Biden administration would continue, do you think he'd be challenging them like that? Of course not. Zuckerberg knows Trump is coming back, and he's kissing some butt to Trump. He's distancing himself from Kamala Harris. If he had any thought that Kamala Harris was going to beat Trump, he wouldn't be doing that. Why would he? If Kamala was if Zuckerberg thought Kamala was coming into the White House in January, why would he talk about these insane controls that the Kamala Harris Biden administration put on him to silence the laptop and other things? Got an answer for that? See, a lot of very smart people are getting behind Trump, not Kamala. Zuckerberg, you know, that Zuckerberg letter is really like an endorsement of Trump. It really is. It's close to an endorsement. Elon Musk supporting Trump and endorsing, openly supporting and endorsing Trump. Elon Musk, so much of his business is connected to the government, right? The subsidies for Tesla and SpaceX, which is through NASA contracts. If he thought the Democrats were going to be in power for 4 more years, do you think he'd be challenging them like this? Of course he wouldn't. So you've got Zuckerberg sucking up to Trump with his letter. You've got Elon Musk endorsing Trump. You've got Democrats like Tulsi Gabbard and Robert Kennedy and others endorsing Trump. You've got conservative voices in media beating the fake news liberal media. I mean, every sign is pointing towards victory. All that the Democrats are holding on to are these fake news push polls that they're putting out there to try to discourage us and think that Kamala Harris is winning. Yeah, why would anyone like Kamala? Right? Even her old sugar daddies don't like her. She's too old now. That's right. You know, that Tulsi Gabbard endorsement yesterday is huge. You put that together with Robert Kennedy, and that's not the last one. There'll be more Democrats. Hmm. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, she's, Tulsi Gabbard's an actual accomplished woman who's accomplished great things without doing the things that Kamala did to get where she is, if you know what I mean. People says both parties serve the interest of the rich and powerful. That is not true. Donald Trump is a representative of the common person. That's a true statement about Democrats. On the show today at 6 o'clock, I'm going to play this video that a Democrat campaign worker posted, and she says all the Democrats do are talk to the billionaire donors all day, begging for money. They never talk to regular people like Trump. Hmm. What he did at Arlington yesterday, President Trump, was very, very powerful. Hmm. Harris Waltz for what? Unemployment? Yes. Hmm. Yeah. No, every sign we see, every sign we see shows that not only is Trump winning, but he is winning big, 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 big. And Tulsi Gabbard's endorsement is huge. And, um, Robert Kennedy said there's going to be a series of these. So he wasn't the first, and Tulsi's not the last. There's going to be others. I mean, look at what Kamala's doing to try to get out of this debate. She's coming up with everything. She wants to have a cheat sheet. Think about that. She wants to have a cheat sheet. I think Trump should let her have whatever she wants, whatever rule she comes up with. If she wants him to have to come out in his underwear and not even have a microphone, he should do it. Agree to any conditions. When you're good, like President Trump is, no matter what conditions they put up, you're still going to win. And when they put up all these ridiculous conditions and he still wins, that's going to make the defeat of Kamala Harris in the debate even better, right? Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a beautiful debate. Yeah, I watched Manhunter, which is the first movie about Hannibal Lecter. Ever see Manhunter? It's a Michael Mann movie, great movie. It's a miracle what's going on with President Trump. After everything they've done, they've arrested him, they've shot him. Dan Bongino had some great comments yesterday talking to that group of Republicans led by Congressman Matt Gaetz about the politics at the Secret Service reducing President Trump's Secret Service detail because they didn't want they had his security detail so low, even at Mar-a-Lago. They kept requesting. They didn't have enough security because they wanted him to look small and not so important. And I got to tell you, before they shot Trump, a couple times I was up at Mar-a-Lago and I saw President Trump driving, and I was shocked at how small his motorcade was. And in fact, they had to stop at a red light. They didn't even have enough people to stop and block the intersections. And I thought that was so strange, especially since he was running for president. But, that's what they were doing. It's the same reason they didn't give RFK Secret Service protection for so long. They didn't want him to look presidential. They've gotten so political. They're just like the FBI, the Secret Service leadership. What's wrong with praising Putin? If Trump's got to go to Putin to end this insane war that Biden started with Russia and Ukraine. If he goes around insulting him, why would Putin meet with him or make any deals to end the war? Putin's got to show that he's a strong leader to his own people. You don't go and insult someone and then go to negotiate with them and expect them to work with you. That's just stupid. Tel Aviv, welcome. I most definitely support Israel. So that's another problem with the Democrats. The Democrat Party, they have a whole constituency of jihadi Hamas supporters. They were at the DNC convention. Who supports Hamas over Israel? This is insane. Israel was invaded. They raped and murdered Israelis, kidnapped Israelis, took women back to turn them into sex slaves. And the Democrats are supporting that? The people that did that? That's insanity. It's complete insanity. It's a sickness, is what it is. It's evil. That's right, Ben. It is completely evil. The Democrats are evil, and they're supporting evil. That's right. Trump 2024. Trump for life. Oh, yeah. I always stand with Israel. Absolutely. How could you not? I mean, that attack on Israel was medieval. Mm-hmm. No, Israel does not, Michael. I'm sorry to tell you. I mean, that's like saying that the United States has blood on its hands when we responded after 9/11, right? Come on, give me a break. No, these are terrorists who launched a 100% civilian attack on a music festival. What the hell? It's craziness. I mean, could you imagine if Al Qaeda or ISIS came in and invaded a music festival here in the United States, murdered people, raped women, and killed them on the spot, and then kidnapped women and took them back to wherever as sex slaves? I think we'd respond too. Well, maybe not with this administration, we wouldn't. Israel is very tame with their response. They could wipe out Gaza. What's the best thing Trump ever did other than running? I would say the best thing Trump did, for me personally, I just say me personally, is the Trump tax cuts. For me personally. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. It means I get to keep more of the money that I earn. Yeah, and those are still in effect, so that's a very good thing. I mean, he did a lot of great things. You know, the wall, very good. Yep. Didn't start any wars, ended wars, defeated ISIS. That's right. The largest percentage of the black community was employed in the history of employment statistics. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could afford to live. We could afford to eat. You know, I wasn't doing live streams at 3:20 in the morning when he was in office. All right? I got to get up early, get up earlier. I got to work more. Mm-hmm. That's right. He ended sex trafficking and sex slavery. Um, one of the greatest things he did, and the greatest thing I'll tell you the two greatest things he did for the world, okay? One, overturning Roe v. Wade. You know, since Roe v. Wade was overturned by Trump in the Supreme Court, how many babies have been born that would not have been born? 100,000 or more? So millions of people will be born and will have a life, millions, over the course of time that never would have if it weren't for Donald Trump overturning Roe v. Wade. So I think that's a pretty big deal. Another thing he did that he'll never get credit for, he should be given the Nobel Prize for this. When he shut down, this is something he did early on, and people don't remember this. He shut down Backpage, which is how the sex trafficking, prostitution was being advertised worldwide. He shut down Backpage, which had an incredible blow, slowing down sexual exploitation of women and children. And he also ended sex trafficking at the southern border. So, I mean, those are overall, you know, those are some of the greatest things he did. the me personally, like what affected me most directly, because I don't go out and have abortions or these other things. Was me personally was the Trump tax cuts, but overall, overturning Roe v. Wade, millions of people will be born that wouldn't have because of it. Shutting down Backpage was huge, huge, because a lot of other online prostitution websites shut down on their own after that. Yeah, and ending the sex trafficking at the southern border. I mean, those are some of the biggest things I think he did. I mean, there's other great things he did, but those are probably some of the biggest. Yeah. Now, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, guys. This is most definitely where MAGA comes off, but there's other things he did, but I think those are the biggest. And of course, he doesn't get credit for that because the fake news media don't want to give Trump credit for anything. But those are huge. You know, shutting down Backpage and stopping the sex trafficking at the southern border. I mean, that's amazing. You know, the Backpage is where, you know, they would sex traffic people throughout the country, but they would advertise it and pimp them out through Backpage. And he never gets credit for that. And I think that was just huge, that and overturning Roe v. Wade. I mean, in the first 6 months of the overturning of Roe v. Wade, 50,000 babies were born that would not have been, just in the first 6 months, right? So over the course of time, how many people will have a life that wouldn't have? I mean, who could top something like that? That will probably be his biggest legacy and accomplishment. I don't know if that's how he'll be remembered, but how could you do something greater than that, right? Could you? I don't think you could. Mm-mm. Why is taking away abortion better than... I don't see the rest of the sentence. Overturning Roe v. Wade didn't outlaw abortion, but it certainly reduced the number of abortions because lives that would not have lived are living. People are being born that would not have been born. That's an amazing accomplishment. I don't know how anyone could top that. I mean, he did many great things, but I think overturning Roe v. Wade has got to be his top accomplishment. I don't see how anyone could do something better than that. I don't know when the investigation began, but he shut it down. They actually Trump sent in federal agents to shut it down. Trump had nothing to do with January 6th. Yeah, my daughter's adopted. I'm a strong promoter of adoption. Yeah, absolutely. I promote adoption. Yes. And who's to say that the mothers that give birth to them won't be taking care of them? Exactly. Oh, I don't know how much we've sent Israel, but yes, we should send them all the money they need. Hmm. Israel, we don't just give them like Ukraine, okay? We give Ukraine all this crap. Like there's a story today that the Russians hit a power plant in Ukraine, knocked out a lot of electricity. They blew up a power plant, the Russians. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are high-fiving. That means they get to build a new power plant in Ukraine. And all the equipment that Ukraine has, we just give it to them. Give it to them. We pay for it from the military-industrial complex and give it to Ukraine. Ukraine's not buying this stuff. Israel, all the weapons, we don't give these weapons to Israel. Israel actually buys them. The media doesn't tell you that, but Israel buys the weapons. We don't give them the weapons. They buy the weapons, Israel, from us. Ukraine, we're just giving it to them. Big difference, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Exactly. But of course, they don't tell you that in the media. Yeah, they do, Bo. Israel absolutely does buy them. That is true. No, we don't give them to Israel. Israel buys them. Yes, buying is better than giving them. Yeah, but the media hate Jews in this country. We have an anti-Semitic media, so they don't report that. Plus, Democrats are obsessed with indigenous people. There are no people more indigenous than the Jews to Israel. That's exactly right. Taiwan buys, yeah. Yeah, Israel buys them. We do not give the weapons or the equipment to Israel. They actually buy them. Ukraine, we just give it to them. It's crazy. None of these wars would be going on if Trump were in office. Hamas is Iran. Iran pays for the terrorism of the world, and Iran was broke under Trump because, well, he wasn't sending them cargo planes filled with cash, but he had oil prices so low that Iran's profit on their oil was so low they didn't have extra money to spend. They were on the verge of financial collapse. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden drive the cost of oil up. Iran's an oil nation, and all of a sudden they've got enough money to start funding Hamas and other terrorist groups again to attack Jews. So Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are directly responsible for the Hamas attack on Israel last October. Directly responsible. They help Ukraine because it's a money grab for the corrupt politicians and the military-industrial complex. That's why. Women do have reproductive rights. I mean, Bugs, I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but women decide who to have sex with and when. Men don't, right? Women have complete reproductive freedom. Men would go around having sex with different women every day, all day if they could. But they don't, because women have taken reproductive rights away from men. Women have all the reproductive rights. You ever go to a club, a nightclub, a bar, right? Who decides who's having sex that night, the men or the women? The women seem to have complete reproductive freedom, right? It's true. It's true. It's true, irony. Exactly. I mean, I know it's a little crude to put it that way, but, you asked. Bo, it makes absolutely 100% sense. If you're a man, you'll understand. That's correct. The women make all the choices on who has sex every day, even in marriages, really, for the most part. Well, but you just don't have the right to do with your body anything you choose. As an example, do you have, in this country, do you have the right to choose to inject your body with heroin? No. As a minor in this country, if you're under 18 years of age, do you have the right to choose to have a tattoo put on your body? No. Yes, I am married. Been married 27, almost 28 years. If you're underage, if you're under the age of 18, at least here in Florida, it might be different in other states, but here in Florida, if you're under the age of 18, you cannot choose to have your ears pierced without parental permission. So, can an adult woman choose to be a prostitute and legally have sex with men for money? Now, in Nevada, you can, but outside of Nevada, no. So, this idea that you could just do whatever you want with your body is not the not true. It's a ridiculous, stupid talking point that the Democrats have been trotting around for over half a century. I'm sure there's a bunch of others if we wanted to make a list and think about it, but those are some of the, just off the top of my head, there's all kinds of things you're not allowed to do to your body or with your body. Adult women is a woman over the age of 18. hmm Now, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, guys. hmm And I don't think you could disagree with much of what I just said there. I must tell you. No, Kennedy will not be VP. J.D. Vance will be the VP. But Robert Kennedy did announce that Trump is put him on the transition committee, the Trump presidential committee. So Robert Kennedy is going to play a role in cabinet picks, which is pretty amazing. Yes, if you're under the age of 18, you're a child. That's correct. Tim Walz is, Tim Walz may give Minnesota to Trump. So many people hate Tim Walz in Minnesota. There's, they feel empowered now. They're victims of this Chinese assets governorship. Are you surprised? Nobody takes you seriously. No one takes me seriously. Well, maybe you don't. So a child should not have a child the same way a child can adopt. That doesn't even make sense, Kate. Doesn't even make sense what you said. Tim Walz, I was reading an article today that Minnesota is in play for Donald Trump, in large part because of Tim Walz. Very pro-Israel, absolutely. How could you not be pro-Israel? Who is not pro-Israel? Anti-Semites, I guess. Democrats. Democrats used to be pro-Israel, but not anymore. Those days are over. That's why so many Democrats like Tulsi Gabbard and RFK are endorsing Trump, because the Democrat Party has lost their way. Is Israel pro-USA, Christian? Yes, they are pro-USA, absolutely. They're a close ally of ours. And Israel is very religiously tolerant in their parliament, the Knesset. They have Muslim members of the Knesset, even though it's the Jewish state. They have Muslims in their parliament. It is the Holy Land for Christians, Jews alike. Absolutely. Well, Miss Amy, you can pick these extreme examples all you want, but come on. And President Trump supports exceptions for rape and incest on abortion, by the way. He's been very vocal about that. Even very recently, he's talked about that, the exceptions for rape and incest. Audrey James, the spy? Just give me a break. You want to talk about spies, look at Tim Walz. Right? Exactly. Yeah, Tim Walz, without question, is a Chinese asset. No question about it. Everything points to it. Walz will be very investigated when this is over. He blew his cover as a Chinese asset. China put him in that position to run with Kamala Harris, to elevate him to the national platform. It was, they did us a favor. It was a mistake. They outed their spy, is what they did. Yeah. Oh, no, he's very dangerous. Very dangerous person, Tim Walz. Uh, he's been running with Kamala Harris for a month, and there's been nonstop evidence of his collusion with CCP officials. I'm not going to go through it all now. If you watch my videos over this Tim Walz period we've been in, I've talked about it quite a bit. No, I'm not scared. We're doing very well. Trump is winning. He's way ahead. Nope, not worried at all. No, I got plenty of evidence, but I'm not going to go through 4 weeks of videos I've done here on YouTube with you. But he is a very, very dangerous person, Tim Walz. Very dangerous. No, I'm not worried a bit. Nope, not at all. Yeah, Fang Fang, that's right. I mean, who gets married and honeymoons at Tiananmen Square in China, the site of a massacre? That's insanity. Trump is the GOAT. There's no getting around that. Walz is very dangerous. I mean, look at when he authorized. Look at when he authorized his state police and National Guard to shoot with paintballs unarmed civilians. I mean, this is insane. And there's video of them shooting unarmed women with paintballs on the front porch of their home. Who does that? A tyrant. There's been a lot of articles have come out about Tim Walz. He used to live over there in China. He's been over there over 30 times. And he was taking these student trips with students here in the United States to China. It was funded by the CCP. A photograph came out just over the weekend with Tim Walz, with a Chinese guy that he was his attaché that helped him coordinate his student trips to China. The guy is CCP. He's on the CIA watch list. So yeah. So he is a very bad dude. He got married on the anniversary of Tiananmen Square in Tiananmen Square. A Trump University. You know how valuable a Trump University degree would be online? Those are very rare. I wish I had a Trump University degree. You know how much that's worth? Oh my goodness. That's a collectible. Absolutely. Yeah, Tiananmen Square was a long time ago, so young people don't know. I mean, I remember when it happened. It was a pretty big deal. They murdered a lot of people. They imprisoned. There's a famous picture of the guy in front of the tank in Tiananmen Square. You ever see that picture? That tank ran over that guy and killed him after that. That's why that photograph is so historic. And he's over there celebrating that. He's a sicko. He's a complete sicko psycho. I was alive then. Yeah, I was a teenager. Yeah, what year was Tiananmen Square? Let me look. Tell you how old I was. It was 89. I was 18. It says 89 here. Yeah, so I was 18. Yeah, I was a senior in high school. I remember watching it on television. ABC News in particular. You were 7, yeah. That's right, MAGA for life. Now, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, guys. You will love my channel. My next stream will be at 6 a.m. Eastern. I'll be at the radio studio taking live calls. And I've got that stream already set up. If you go there, it's got Tulsi Gabbard. It says, Tulsi says vote Trump. And it's that great picture of Tulsi Gabbard in her Army National Guard uniform saluting. Yeah, I mean, that's really amazing. These Democrats like Tulsi Gabbard and Robert Kennedy that are coming out and endorsing Trump, that's how bad things are in this country. These are some very brave people, Robert Kennedy and Tulsi Gabbard. They're going against all their friends, their family. In Robert Kennedy's case, his wife is like ready to leave him over it. I mean, that's nuts. But he's still doing what's right, and that's standing up for America. And he knows that the Democrat Party of today wants to burn down this country and destroy it. I mean, what is Kamala Harris running on? In a sentence, why is Kamala Harris saying, vote for me? What is she, in just a sentence? You can't articulate it, can't she? She hasn't said much of anything. Vote for her for 4 more years of inflation, 4 more years of a border invasion. Why is she saying vote for her? She says they're going to let the Trump tax cuts expire, so they're going to raise all of our taxes. Exactly right. Yeah, there's no reason whatsoever to be voting for Kamala Harris. She hasn't even told you why you should vote for her. I haven't heard her articulate a reason why anyone should vote for her. Have you? No, she hasn't. She can't even tell you. I mean, look at what she's doing with this debate. She's trying to set up so many conditions for Trump to debate her that he'll cancel. He's not going to cancel. He's going to debate her no matter what absurd, ridiculous conditions that she comes up with, and he should. And he's going to clean her clock. So if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Everyone else who's already subbed, do me a favor of liking the video, all right? I got to finish getting ready for work. My other stream is already set up. The chat, it goes live at 6 a.m., but the chat room's active, so you can go over there and join the chat over there if you'd like. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Take care.